What is going on? It is Nate the Game Guy coming back with another video at hand, and today is finally the day that I'm going to be showing a full-blown game room tour on this channel. In the video, I'm going to try to cover as many sections as possible throughout the game room and be as detailed as possible without making the video too long. So obviously we'll try to make the video interesting in the different sections that I'll show without trying to make the video too long and too in-depth to where it will bore you, the viewer. Of course, I'll be showing the different sections, how it's all laid out, trying to give a few thoughts here and there about how I do it before I do a full-blown renovation, if you even want to call it that, or reorganization of the game room, downsizing it to try to make it a little bit more organized. But anyway, without further ado, let's jump right into the game room tour, take a look at how I've got everything set up at the moment, right after the intro. Alright, so starting off with the room tour, I'm going to do a quick pan as to show just a little bit of the layout of the entire game room. For those that don't really feel like watching the entire video, they can just have a quick pan as to show what's going on, right? So you will notice in this video that the lighting isn't going to be exactly as good as, say, with my other videos, is because I'm moving some of the light trees that I normally use to get the lighting to be a little bit more perfect, so that way you can see what exactly is going on through the game room, so you don't see these random light trees throughout the room tour while I go about my business, right? So for the first section of the game room, I'm going to start off with this shelf right here that keeps all of some of my PlayStation 5 games, some of my Series X games, Xbox One games that I am currently not planning to play at the moment, if at all. So they're just right here, all that. Normally this section is covered up with white cloth, all that good stuff, because sometimes I do like to have the windows open, and this just protects it from fading and all that wonderful stuff. Here is my Nintendo DS collection. As you can see right here, I have about 130 some games for the DS. All games are complete in box. I believe they are, to the best of my knowledge. Can't really look on my phone because I'm recording. Keeps track of everything I've got. Here's my Sega Dreamcast games. I'm currently working on going for a full set for that, which you'll see more games in a little bit. More Xbox One games that I am currently not planning to play, if at all. And then we go right here into more Series X games. All the way in the darkness are loose Game Boy Color games and Game Boy Advance games. I know you will probably not be able to see all the way in the dark abyss, but I promise there are Game Boy Advance games back there. More PlayStation 5 games right here at the bottom, along with more Dreamcast games. And then here is my complete in box 3DS set. All games I collect for the 3DS are complete in box along with DS. On the other section of the doorway are some collectibles. These are signed prints of Kevin Miller, the voice of Sly Cooper, Lex Lang, the voice of Crash Bandicoot. These are just some wall hanging art, I think that's what it's called, that I've picked up from Hobby Lobby. Zack and Wiki postcard that I've got framed. And then I've got some miscellaneous collectibles and box arts and other game accessories that I'm putting right here. So I'm just gonna try to show as efficiently as possible right here. There we go. And that is a Japanese Xbox 360 that I got from a local deal, which I thought was pretty cool. Along with the top shelf unit, I have a lot of plushies, collectibles, game console boxes, Nintendo Labo, along with other miscellaneous video game stuff and memorabilia. So usually I like to put some of my stuff up here so that way it is efficient to see. And then as we come along here are some more signed art prints from Kira Buckland, Lindsay, unfortunately I'm really forgetting her name right now, I really apologize, Mike Pollock. These are not signed prints, but they're cool, of Cloud from Final Fantasy VII, Marcus Phoenix from Gears of War, and then as we go up here, we've got Galaga, Aaron Fitzgerald, who did Blackheart and Noir from Neptunia for a while, then Pac-Man, yeah. And then as I'm coming along, I've got my original Xbox collection. I have a little under 300 original Xbox games. Someday I may go for a complete set because I do like collecting for the original Xbox, and it was a console I neglected while growing up. Here is my overflow of PlayStation 4 games because they don't have any shelf space at the moment. Here's my Wii collection with some Mario plushies and a little Sonic plushie that's kind of hidden at the moment. I have a little over 300 Wii games, but of course these are not all of my Wii games. You'll see a little bit of my overflow as we continue throughout the game room. But yeah, this is my shelf of Wii and my shelf of original Xbox. And then as we move along over here, I've got some figures of the original Master Chief compared to the Master Chief from Halo Infinite. The Ouya, which is open box, not new. The scale figure of Needles Kane or Sweet Tooth from Twisted Metal. And then a little car of Amy Rose in the box. Now, I did say I was going to show some of my other Sega Dreamcast games early in the video, and here they are. I'm not going to pull them out all at once because it would be a colossal pain, but yes, I am currently working on completing the Sega Dreamcast set at the moment because it is one of my favorite game consoles of all time, so I must get a complete set for that. Of course, here are some boxes for the Xbox One, the 360 that I've all got through local deals. And then moving up, we've got some collectibles for Twisted Metal, Super Mario, Telluride, and more Super Mario, because I think this is a good place to put some of these collectibles at the moment. Now in the closet, I keep a lot of game accessories and controllers. I try to keep them all relatively organized in these boxes. I'll give an Amazon link in the description below as to where you can get these exact storage boxes. I think they're awesome. They stack on top pretty well. And I just think that they are a perfect fit for what I've got going on. They pull out easy. I get to close them back in. They're awesome storage bins. I would strongly recommend that you might want to go check them out sometime. Of course, here is my movie collection. I love movies to death. Before I became a guy that was really into games, I really loved movies. When it comes to collecting movies, I only get movies that I like to watch or plan to watch. I don't get movies just to fill up space. And of course, my movie collecting goals are different than my game collecting goals. But I have literally at least something from every movie genre, TV genre in the collection because, as long as it's done right, I enjoy basically watching whatever. But yeah, this is my movie collection. Of course, now as we're moving along this part of the game room, I'll now show the tops of the shelf where there's a little bit of some movies on the other end of the shelf. And then, of course, I have a lot of collectibles. As you can tell, I've got a lot of Funko Pops. Then as we're kind of moving along, I've got even more figures. And I gotta say, I really like how I've set up the display. I think it looks good. What do you guys think? Feel free to comment down below if you approve of that setup. Now, next to my movie collection is my second largest game collection in the library, and that is the Xbox 360. I have got so many deals collecting for the Xbox 360. It is a very inexpensive game console to collect for, and I think it is a console that more collectors should consider collecting for because not only is it cheap, but there are a ton of great games on the Xbox 360. But yes, this is hands down my second largest game library in the collection. Now, adjacent to the Xbox 360 shelf are my Super Nintendo games, my loose Nintendo 64 games, and my PlayStation 3 games. I used to collect complete in box when it came to the Nintendo 64, but then I decided to change my mind. If you want to have a good idea as to why I changed my mind when it came to collecting for the Nintendo 64, I have a video all about sharing my opinions about games, if you should collect them loose or if you should collect them complete in box. Now, one thing that I've got sticking out right here at the moment, just because I need some room, is a signed autograph print of Peter Cullen, who did the voice of Optimus Prime. I am a huge Transformers fan, so it is something that I had to get. Now, of course, as we move along over here is my overflow of Wii games, my PC games. I only collect PC games that I want to play and enjoy. Here are my Sega Genesis games and my overflow 360 games, and some more PlayStation 2 games. I'm sure one question some of you may have asked already as to why I have certain duplicates of games. That is because I collect variants. So if you look at this copy of Collectibles, this is a not packaged for individual sale variant. And then as we look right here, this is just a regular old copy of Collectibles, now with bears. But yeah, I collect variants. So that's why you may see in the game collection, I have duplicates of certain games. Now moving along over here is my N-Gage set. I am only 2 games away from finishing the set, and not a soul on the internet is selling them, which is really sad. Here is my PlayStation 1 collection, and then here is my largest game library in the game room, my PS2 collection. I have about 600 PlayStation 2 games. They're so cheap to collect for. Of course, I do have a lot of sports games, but it is what it is. But like I said, great deals to get when it comes to collecting for PS2. Now, of course, as we move along over here is my complete North American set for the Wii U. Very happy once I completed it several years ago. I loved collecting for Wii U. Here's my GameCube library. I haven't picked up very many GameCube games for a while now because GameCube's just got so expensive. It is a game console that I would love to get a complete set for, but I won't be doing it anytime soon. And then moving along down even further is my complete Hyperscan set. Right here is my copy of Wolverine. I will be putting up a video sometime that is all about collecting for the Hyperscan, and I will talk as to exactly why I only have that game in that case. But then right here is my PS Vita collection, my overflow of PlayStation 1 games, and then as we move along down here are my Atari 2600 games. I believe some of those are in television games too. I got them at a really good deal from a game store many years ago, which sadly went out of business. I also forgot to show right here in this little corner of the room right here are my NES games. I don't have very many NES games, but that is something I do plan to fix at some point in the future. Now here's an interesting section of the game room I don't show very often, are some of my plushies that I've got. Usually I've got this covered up with a twin bed sheet to keep it protected from fading. And then here are some more boxes of the Xbox 360 and its variants, along with other miscellaneous game stuff too. Again, all those boxes I got through free local deals. And it's funny is because I almost feel like I have almost every variant release of the 360 Slim in the collection. And then right over here, as we're hanging right under the window, are some miscellaneous game collectibles and some handhelds of like the DS Lite, PSP, PS Vita. Technically, those are 2 DS Lites, but it is what it is. Then as we go down right even here, we've got the PlayStation 4 over there, my E-Model 360 Slim, Xbox One Original, Xbox One S, PS4 Slim, Model 2 Sega Saturn, my Sega Dreamcast, and I have a lot of interesting controller variants for the 360, most of which are all Halo themed. And then as we go down right here are some miscellaneous game magazines of like Nintendo Power, Xbox Magazine, Game Informer, some art books and guides of, like Sonic and Telluride, Puyo Puyo, Kirby, all kinds of different game series, right? And then right here is my Model 1 Sega Saturn. And then moving on over here, this is an interesting postcard that I've got right here. This is for the summer of 2011, back when Idea Factory and Compile Heart were promoting Neptunia Mark II. I haven't seen this postcard online very often, so I would assume it is rare, but yes, I've got it framed because it must be protected. And then, of course, as we're going along this top shelf right here, a red 3DS, my original DS, and then my Game Boy Advance, along with more game collectibles, all that wonderful stuff. And then coming down here are more game consoles that I've got. This is a 360, I forgot what model it is, but it's one of the original models. My PS1, Silver GameCube, Indigo GameCube, Model 3, Sega Genesis, Super Nintendo, Hyperscan, kind of hidden up there, NES, Wii, Model 1 Genesis, and my original Xbox. And then as we go down even further, here are some more game collectibles I'm just keeping down here at the moment. Right behind all these are a bunch of strategy guides I've gotten for like dirt cheap over the years, and cheat code books, and just, yeah, I love collecting all kinds of video game stuff. Right over here are a bunch of special edition games and some plushies of Banjo-Kazooie, Puyo Puyo, and some Puyo figurines, with one little Pokemon figurine right here. Now this is an interesting section that I've got right here. Several years ago, I got a bunch of empty cases from different places, right, where I just keep them, so in case if I happen to find the game somewhere, either online or locally, I can just pay a discounted price for the games, and I just pop it into one of those empty cases with the manual. And then, of course, these are just different replacement cases I'm just keeping in case something cracks or whatever, or breaks. I can just swap it out and everything's good, along with some more special editions as well. Here are some box Game Boy Advance games. I normally don't collect complete in box for Game Boy Advance, but I found a good deal for them, so I picked them up. But yeah, that's a little something going on right here. As we move along this other part of the shelf right here, here are my Switch games right here. Here is my overflow of PS3 games, and all these Xbox One games and Series X games. These are the ones that I'm planning to play either in the near future or sometime at the moment. Here are my boxed Nintendo 64 games with some boxed 32X games and Super Famicom games. Sometimes I keep a little bit of some game parts in here in case if I ever need to fix something. Just stuff happens, right? Of course, here's my music collection. It's not organized at all, but behind this is my special edition of Smash Ultimate, along with a Neptunia Christmas ornament that I've got not hooked up, but placed there at the moment. And then right here, I've got my PS4 games. I really enjoy collecting for PS4, although I don't have more room at the moment, so gotta work that out. And then here are my Sega Saturn games. I do love the Sega Saturn. I just wish the Sega Saturn wasn't so expensive to collect for, because it is an awesome game console, along with some Japanese Saturn games and some Game Gear games at the moment. More movies right here, along with some game collectibles right here, right? This is just a microfiber that I was just dusting earlier, right? And right here, what's interesting with this is a copy of Madao Monogatari for the PC. This is where Puyo Puyo started before it got all cute and all that. Puyo Puyo had some dark beginnings, so I would recommend checking that out, either through a playthrough online or whatever, because it's pretty interesting how Puyo Puyo got started. Now here is the section of the game room where I've got everything hooked up when I am playing, right? So on the corkboard, I've got a lot of miscellaneous game collectibles, but as you can see right here, I've got my Switch, Wii U, PS5, PS3 Slim, and then as we move along over here, I've got the Series X, the PS2 Fat, and of course a 360 hooked up. But as you can see right here, I've got a lot of miscellaneous game collectibles put up on the wall. And then even behind the TV, I've got even some more game collectibles right here. And this is something that might interest a few people. This is an original Bad Company keychain from the original Battlefield Bad Company. I love the Bad Company games. I think they are totally fun, and they were just great games to play back in their day. Underneath the desk unit are some more game accessories that I've just got posted right there. And then, of course, here are some empty cases that I can use in case if something breaks or whatever, or just other things that happen, right? And just, yeah. All right, and that will conclude the game room tour. What do you guys think of the design and the layout? Feel free to comment in the comment section down below. I'd love to receive everybody's feedback and thoughts and all that wonderful stuff. Give this video a like if you did enjoy. Helps boost it up into the YouTube algorithm so more viewers such as you can find videos just like this. Of course, please do consider subscribing because I post a lot of content when it comes to game collecting tips, other video game related subjects. So if that's something that you guys are interested in, please do consider subscribing. But of course, if you're going to subscribe, don't forget to hit that bell notification button so that way you will be notified when I upload a video just like this. I hope you guys did enjoy the game room tour and the layout because, like I said in my previous video, I am planning to downsize the game room, not the collection itself, but just the layout, just to make things a little bit more organized and all that wonderful stuff. I do hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'll be seeing you guys next time.